I have grown stronger, things have started to become a little bit more clear. And that is that I am still not strong enough. To become even more powerful, I'm going to need to tap into a magical power that we've only barely scratched the surface of. And that is the power to harness Source. So back into the manuscript where we take a look at the Ars Maze. Within Helheim, there exists a deadly maze suspended over the void containing the recipe for an extraordinarily versatile magic book. An energized heartstone will recenter a compass's magnetic field, allowing it to track down the location of this maze lost to time. The heartstone can also serve as a way to track my location within the maze, allowing me to return to its last bound location. And you should rebind the stone with lightning as often as you want within the maze to act as a checkpoint. To make an energized heartstone, we need to first craft a regular heartstone, which doesn't seem all that difficult by just simply throwing it together like this. But now that we have this heartstone, we must first energize it. And thankfully, we've become a bit stronger and a bit more well-versed in our magical abilities, and we have the ability to cast lightning where we please. And so by dropping this on the ground and striking it with lightning, we now have ourselves an energized heartstone. Now in the quest, it does say important the compass can only be crafted on a vanilla crafting table while in Helheim. So if we're going to craft this compass, I need to place down a regular vanilla crafting table and then bind it to this location here, in which we're going to need some source gems for. Once crafted, we now have ourselves a maze tracker that ultimately points us into the direction where this maze exists. And I'm pretty excited for this. Some things to note, by the way, here we can do /set home to set our home location, which I've already done. And then anytime we are anywhere, we should be able to shift right click to bind the heartstone to a location. And we can just update that so long as it's not on cooldown. For example, I just shift right clicked and this has now been set to this location. And this gives us the ability to teleport around. And we can make more than one of these energized heartstones, by the way. It allows us to teleport here and also cross-dimensionally, which will become a little bit more important later on. Well, if ever we escape this realm. Now, although I have the compass and, well, I do feel a little bit more powerful, there are some trinkets that we can make from Malum that would make us even more powerful. And I'm sure that this place is going to be heavily guarded. There's lots of bones here. Wait, what? There are lots of bones here. Vet, there are. By the way, if you haven't realized, Vet's its nickname. Even though Squeaker would be a good name for you. I don't know, you like the sound of that? Does Squeaker work? No? Oh, okay. Now back onto the trinkets and stuff that can make us a little bit more powerful. So we can make ourselves a gilded ring. This doesn't seem too bad to make, and when it's equipped inside of our curio slot, our ring slot, we get +1 armor. We can also make a gilded belt, which gives us +2 armor, and an ornate ring, which gives us +1 armor toughness. And all of these things are just simply crafted, which is very, very nice. I am, however, going to need more chthonic gold. I'll just let a little bit of this craft up, and finally we get ourselves some more chthonic gold. Now I do need 2 of these gilded belts, and this is because one we can actually keep in a curio slot, and the other we can turn into the belt of the Magebane. But to make this Magebane, I must do something that is very dangerous and very, very much frowned upon. First, I must make a totem base. And with this totem base, I am able to create chaos. I want to do this a little bit away from the base, and I want to place down my rune wood. So we'll place down our regular totem base that we just created, and then the rune wood logs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tall. And we are going to summon chaos magic by placing in arcane spirits all the way up the totem. And then we right click to activate. And this should curse the land below it, which is crazy looking, and also convert the totem here into soulwood. And then we can reactivate the totem, and this should allow us to make transformations happen on top of this blighted soil. So I think now I can place these logs here on the blighted soil, and it should transform into soulwood logs now, allowing us to kind of convert and swap certain blocks. With this inscribed into the soulwood totem, we are now activating the Unchained Rite, which does all of these transformations, can turn gravel into sand, can turn tough into regular stone. It can do all kinds of different transformations, basalt into netherrack. There's a multitude of things that we can do. One fantastic one is turning diorite into calcite. Look at that. But the main thing I needed was to get access to the logs here. Now that I have that soulwood plank, I can combine this with the gilded belt that I had just made. And this is going to form a belt of the Magebane, which will give us 40% soul ward recovery rate, 6+ on our soul ward capacity, and then give us soul ward and magic resistance, which is going to be a crazy benefit. And this goes in our belt slot, which typically the gilded belt would also go in our belt slot, but we can put this in our curio, which is going to give us that extra, and then we can equip this in our ring slot. That's so nice. And then might as well also make the ornate ring. This is going to give us plus toughness. And if I make another ornate ring, I can convert this into one that gives us even more spirits. And now I'm feeling just a tiny bit stronger, I would definitely say. One more thing before we leave. I want to be able to repair my gear before it breaks, because this stuff is not easy to recraft. And so we can actually make the ability to repair our gear. To make the repair pylon, we are going to need to infuse quite a few spirits. Also, with our tainted blocks, this requires quite a bit. Tainted and twisted blocks. Oh boy. And there we go, a repair pylon. And yeah, that is quite large. So I'm assuming I just place in the essences that we are going to need, and then also the item that we'll use to repair it with, and then ultimately the item that will be repaired, or maybe it's the item goes in that will be repaired. Huh. No, this must mean that there are other pedestals that need to go nearby. Like, for example, ones that are on the tainted pedestals, right? This seems fair, but is it the other way around? Okay, so the item that needs to be repaired goes on the pedestal while this stays on here. And then this combines it together? Is that what I'm seeing here? I would have imagined this going onto the pedestal and the item being infused into it, but maybe it's copying it. That is so cool looking though. And it's fully repaired. Now I've got to do this for each of my gear pieces. Well, I guess I can't do it for everything because it has to meet a certain threshold, I think, before it can start changing it. Oh no, it seems like it's working. It appears as if this has a cooldown period. Now all of my pieces are fully repaired. I think we're almost ready to head to the maze, but there are some tips and tricks. Throwing an ender pearl within the maze can act as a way to bypass some of the more tricky areas. This isn't a requirement, but if you find yourself struggling, it's a valid option. Additionally, a bow and arrow allows you to shoot at paths you aren't sure about to see if they're genuine. Interesting. I probably want to bring a regular bow and arrow because this bow and arrow doesn't actually leave arrows in the walls. With everything that we've done thus far, I think it's now time to challenge ourselves with a maze. A maze that will unlock the recipe to an incredibly, extraordinarily powerful magical book. For a little bit of a journey, I think I have found the entrance to the maze. Oh boy. And I am only slightly nervous about this. What do I do from here now that I've made it to the maze? Oh. Okay. So there are doors that are invisible. Oh boy. What is this? Hans Mole Man. What? These guys, these guys are something else. Perfect. Okay. And this gives us, oh, a potion, but we also got some dark tathers. So is this where we're going to be going between doors? Oh, it is. Oh, this is interesting. And once we go through, we're through. Oh boy. And we can't fly in here, by the way, either. Flying is completely off limits. And I can use my spells, however. Oh, which that feels powerful. Yes. We just need to simply use our spells to get through here. This is also going to be a great way for us to farm up a ton more of these spirits. There are buttons up here? Interesting. Oh, and this side, we already have, yes, others showing their face. Necromancers. And this will be a great time, oh, to attack these guys. If only I can get rid of the necromancer. Yes, being sort of frozen in place. That is definitely not the way I'm supposed to go. No, I am strong. And plus, we have all of our healing abilities. Like, I have my patch I could use. Oh, this is going to be nice. I can already start to understand what they mean by maze. Are there walkways through here? We just encountered 2 passageways. This passageway, which leads us into this room, which has a breeze in it. No. Stop it. There we go. The breeze is gone. But we also have these other puzzles to solve in the room. Huh. So. Okay, that lowered this. Ah, I see. Because we don't have flight or any way to place blocks. Aha. Okay. Is this an open path? Oh, that is definitely an open path. And I'm assuming we can shoot arrows. Okay, so that is a pathway through. Is this a pathway through? Okay, that is. And that is not. So there is another 2-way gap here that takes us into 2 other rooms. If I jump across. This is an open room. Okay. Oh, there's Ars runes in here. Oh, the rewind is rough. Okay. Interesting. That one shoots me forward. Oh, this is a nice room. Very nice. Oh, and we have loot chests. Yes. A sunbeam scroll. It's an uncommon. That does, oh my goodness, 20 damage. That is so good. I'm glad I have my backpacks. There appears to be more upstairs, though, so let's take a look up here. Can we get into these sacks or anything? No. Okay, so we can't really interact with much. Oh, okay, perfect. Potions of healing. Potions of deep sight. Interesting. All right, let's do a little bit more parkour out of all of this, which drops us down into the void, which is not horrifying at all. What in the world? Yep, as I expected. It's just a constant rapid fire of arrow dispensers. Oh my. That is great. All right, let's find which room. Okay, that's open. So we must go this way. Oh, which is our first boss. Interesting. Elite Dragar. I think that's what that is. 120 health. That is quite a lot. Let's see. Let's try the wisp. You know what? That's not super effective. Magic missile also not as effective. I tell you, the ability to shoot this and have it bounce off the walls, that is the way to go. We did it. Oh, our spirit's talking to us. You will never bother us again. That's adorable. Well, I guess we shall continue on. There's different rooms all over the place. That is TNT. Okay. This place is trying to kill me. I mean, honestly, to be expected. I think this might be a good checkpoint to actually reset our Heartstone and bind it to this room. Just in case we happen to die for whatever reason. Yeah. Dying. Oh no, bogged. I believe, by the way, these are sort of randomized. So your dungeon may not appear the same as mine if you are playing through this. Oh, this is cool. We just have loot chests. We've hit a loot room. Oh yeah, I'm taking as much stuff as I can. And even more chthonic gold, but also nature's essence. Interesting. Yeah, we don't have the ability to craft this. We can only get it from loot. Well, at least we can't craft it yet, that is. These two rooms are divided off, so we shall move into the next one. What is that? Bet. What is this? It's a big baddie. Yes, it is. I can't get past the area here. Whoo! Okay, they actually hit kind of hard. I am very unsure what's going on here. But I'm going to destroy it. There. Thank goodness we have these guards. Oh, but we did it. Okay, so they're gone. And we also got a ferrous slime ball too. Huh. Continue on. That's a passageway, and this is a passageway. Okay, so there's two ways we can go. Another boss. I mean, this one I can definitely handle. Our scythe is just fast enough. Easily taking out this guy. Let's do this. You ain't got nothing on me. Beautiful. All right, so now we've done 3 bosses so far. So where shall we go next? That is not open. That's open. That is not open. So let's peek our head through the next room. Oh man, standing right over the void is horrifying. Anytime there's void, it's like definitely time to set the Heartstone just to make sure that if we do fall in the void, we can get back. That assumes, too, that we keep all of our things. I don't know which room. Maybe I can see from here. Okay, that stops. That goes through. And I can't really tell on this side, but I do know this goes through. Ooh. I'm so glad there was no other option, so I'm assuming it was going to teleport me. This also has nothing? Oh, it does do something. All right, which room? This room extending out and this room to the side. So there's 2 rooms here. What do these do? Oh, okay. So maybe I need to drag through this whole thing to activate them all. Oh, now that's nifty. Just do a little jumping parkour. Awesome. Oh, this is a trial spawner room. Okay. If I just keep swatting at them, I think I'll be fine. Oh, man. Am I even going to have enough room for all of these? This is great. Yes. Now, this did split off into even more sections, so I could be going the complete wrong way. This is definitely a dead end. I think I'm going to try this one first. My arrow ended up landing here somewhere. Is there like a fake floor? Oh, there is 100% a fake floor. And oh, is it, are we supposed to follow this path? Okay. Let's take this. And we'll look up and we'll follow the path. First, though, probably should figure out which one of these rooms is open. None of these rooms are open. This is another just fall to your death void room. I'm getting out of here. Let's try this room because there is nothing there. That is entirely dead end. That's an opening. That's not an opening. What are these doing? You're just charging. Okay. This says select different area or face inevitable harm. Why? Ow. Who would do that? Okay, how many doors are open? It's only this one. Okay. So that leads me into this room. Which has a ladder here, but you can't get up the ladder. But we do have an ender pearl, which might be able to help me. Okay, which I did manage to make it out, interestingly enough. Okay, we have... Oh, so this makes them all sort of invisible or pass through. What if I stand on here? Okay. Is this open? This is open. This leads into another one. Wait, this one has full ladders. This one's got all kinds of different directions, though. Ah, so like push that. And then that. That way that one can push through there. Oh, we have another room. Is that open? Oh! Okay, well, this... Oh my goodness, I thought I was falling to my death. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you so much, Vet. Oh my goodness. That wasn't horrifying at all. And thank goodness I have the energized heartstone, as this is going to allow me to get back to that position. Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah, and thankfully we're not too far away. All right, I have a feeling like this was a fake floor. This was fake, right? Yeah, I went right through all of this. Why? But that's a room right there. So all of this is solid except for this. So this can't be the way. After going back through a lot of the different rooms and coming back to here, this has to be the way. There's like a lot of particles that are coming from over here, and I'm thinking we could potentially use an ender pearl to get to the other side, as I did see the arrow does go over there. Oh, we've just got to watch out for this rune. Okay. I just need to continue through here, because we did see there was a passage. Aha, this has got to be the way. Oh my goodness, the arrow went through there. Doesn't go through the other side. So we've got to work our way through this. Okay, what happens? Okay, so this shoots you. Interesting. So maybe I follow this path. Being very careful. I have no idea what these do. That's a dead end over here. Ow. Okay. Ow. All right. Yep. I'm taking damage. Got it. I'll just continue on. And let's see. Oh, I think this has got to be the room, right? This is massive. Yeah, the task is to follow the maze tracker, complete the maze, and right-click the runic altar in the final room. And that to me looks like a runic altar from Britannia. So I must do the parkour, and hopefully I can do this in one try. I mean, this is like simple parkour. This is actually a really, really cool design, by the way. Let's continue all the way up. And we might have just completed the maze. Oh boy. All right. I click it. L maze complete. Added successfully. You've completed the maze. You'll now be able to return home by taking the end gateway. I'm assuming that's the end gateway. And so I'm going to set my heartstone in here. And let's see. Oh yes, we've completed the maze, and I have so much stuff to offload now. Man, and that maze was incredibly challenging, and I wonder what that means for the rest of these challenges we'll have to face. With that, we've also gained some more skill points. And as far as the magic one goes, I think we'll bump up to get another 10% increase in spell power, and then take a little bit of increased spell power here, and get a little bit more mana and mana regen. But now all of this work in the maze, like why did we even do this? Well, it was to be able to harness in our hands the power of Source, teaching us the ways to craft ourself in our spellbook. With this newfound knowledge, we now can become a little bit more powerful. Now with this spellbook, you do need to assign a key to be able to open it, but by default, we get access to only a harm spell. And while in its base form is not incredibly powerful yet, it does have the potential to become incredibly powerful. With the book in hand, we can now move on to magical crushing. With access to this special magical book, I can now crush the ground itself. This blackstone dust is very useful when combined with alchemy. And so we must craft our first glyph, which is going to be the glyph of crush. Required in this craft is going to be earth essence, and earth essence in itself is not too bad to make, and it does utilize a piece of equipment, the imbuement chamber, which we've already crafted. However, it does require something special in order for it to work in this way. For that kind of recipe, we are going to need arcane pedestals, which is also going to require source stone, which thankfully these all have EMC values, and even the pedestal itself has EMC values, meaning we don't have to make more cathodic gold. For convenience, I like to turn my arcane pedestals into these little platforms, and these make it so much easier to place your stuff in, and you can even place it directly on top of your imbuement chamber. Now on the platforms, I need to place all of the quote-unquote reference items, I guess you could say, because these do not get consumed in the crafting operation. And then in the middle, we place in our source gem. And this is going to start drawing in, crudely, source from the surrounding area. After some time, the gem turns into earth essence. The required ingredients, we simply place in a book and quill. And this is going to craft up the glyph that we are going to use to crush rocks down. Very interesting mechanic here. All of this, honestly, very interesting. And now I have the crushed glyph, the glyph of crush. Yes. After right-clicking this, I now have it inside of my book, and I can use, for example, touch and crush and name this crush. And I now have a spell in slot 1 that will perform this action on the thing I click on. What I'm going to be making is this blackstone dust, which is going to be required for our alchemy table. So I should be able to place down a few blackstone and then right click to convert this directly into dust. That's powerful. So I'd say now is the time to craft up our alchemy table itself. And there we go. With this, it should give us the ability to craft up mineral saplings. There exists a very special type of sapling in Midgard, the land of the humans. The mineral obtained from these trees has allowed humans to excel in automations beyond any other race's understandings. If I can utilize this knowledge, my productivity will drastically increase. To make this, we are going to have to use arcane ashes, and we'll have to form an alchemy array. Crafting arcane ashes, we are going to need a little bit of blood inside of our blood orb. Make sure that we actually have the blood orb, and then we need to use our alchemy table to combine our blood with the components to bind them together. This is one of my favorite parts of blood magic, believe it or not. It's just a really cool animated mechanic that is hidden behind this one tiny little item. It is such a cool thing. So now that we have this beautiful arcane ashes crafted, well, I think we can start to use it. With our alchemy array, we are able to add a certain component with another component in order to create a sigil. For example, to make the mineral seed, we are going to need the runewood sapling and a piece of nature's essence, which, by the way, we only got from the maze. Now, if I remember correctly, all we have to do is click the ashes onto the ground and we should get this array pulled up. Then we click in the item that is first in the list in the array, and then we follow up with the next item that goes in the array. And this is such a cool animation. It has been for years. This mod has been around for absolute years. But that is how we get this item. It's so cool. This sapling is incredibly powerful. However, we cannot fully use all of Integrated Dynamics capabilities at the moment because we have to get to other realms. There's just only so much that we can do here. So what are things that you can actually do with this? Well, it could be used to craft up a generator that can generate a little bit of power using coal. That could also charge some batteries. But as far as everything else goes, you're really only using this to technically make another storage access terminal, which is another way to access items inside of chests, much like I'm doing with the lectern. And another awesome alternative that we haven't crafted yet, but I definitely want to, is a dimensional storage accumulator. This thing also works much like the storage lectern here, however, just from a different mod. It even has a similar interface. But unfortunately, at the moment, we don't even have the ability to route items or redstone or anything with Integrated Dynamics, simply because we just don't have anything unlocked yet. But hopefully soon, after we destroy hell, we should be able to get out of here and explore and unlock new secrets from elsewhere. And once she's gone, we might be able to continue using this area as our hideout for now. But if I'm to take her on, there's still one more item that I must make. That is a weapon. A weapon unlike any other. A weapon that combines all of our prior scythes into one. If I can merge all of my knowledge into a single tool, it should deal more damage and attack faster. To be able to do this, I must place down an alchemy array, place in my scythe, and then hit this with some soul-stained steel. And this should give me a scythe that combines the power of Malum and blood magic all into one. Beautiful. A runic sentient scythe. By turning this in, I will be returned one that also has Unbreaking 3 and Mending. And now with this beautifully magic-infused scythe, I can now, hopefully, take on and prepare to fight hell. This is not going to be easy. All of the stuff that we have prepped up thus far, I'm hoping will be enough, but only time will be able to tell. This scythe is so fast, by the way. I can just keep clicking it. Oh, it's so good. With all of this progress that we've made so far today, I can already start to feel a little bit of this weight lifted off of my shoulder. This weight, this pressure that this world is just simply putting on me. But I still feel like I'm being watched, and watched even more than the last time. As if someone is incredibly concerned. Concerned, but yet in a way, not worried at all, which is a very unsettling feeling. But next episode, I'm going to gather the strength, put it all together, and we are going to try our hand at escaping this realm, because I don't belong here. I don't belong here at all. Every bone in my body is telling me that being here is wrong. But if you're looking forward to what next episode has in store, make sure to click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, making sure notifications are turned on so you don't miss a future episode like this one. And also, don't forget to click that like button. I mean, even if it's not for me, do it for Vet over here. But now, without further ado, it is time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Irrelevant Panda. Thank you so much for your amazing support in choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting my content in one of the best ways possible. Guys, I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.